Things to know: 8 states cast midterm primary votes Tuesday. U.S. Rep. Michelle Lujan Grisham speaks to supporters in Albuquerque, MM, Tuesday, June 5, 2018. Grisham won the Democratic nomination for governor. AP photo: Juan Antonio Labrush. 8 states cast midterm primary ballots Tuesday, with implications for control of the House and Senate and for several governors' races. Votes are being tallied in Alabama, California, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico and South Dakota. Some of the highlights: women in the governor's office. In a record-setting year for female candidates across the country, women moved closer to more milestones. Voters gave Michelle Lujan Grisham the Democratic nomination for New Mexico governor, giving her a shot at becoming the first Latina Democratic governor in U.S. history. Lujan Grisham, a congresswoman, is trying to succeed the nation's first Latina Republican governor, Susana Martinez. Republicans also nominated a member of Congress, Rep. Steve Pearce, to run for the job. Another congresswoman, South Dakota's Kristi Noem, won her state's Republican gubernatorial primary. She would become the first female governor in South Dakota history. Voters in Alabama and Iowa opted against all-female matchups for governor in November. Alabama's Republican Governor Kay Ivey avoided a runoff despite several primary challengers. But Democrats chose Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox over Sue Bell Cobb, a former state Supreme Court Chief Justice. In Iowa, Labor leader Kathy Glassen couldn't pull off an upset against businessman Fred Hubbell for the Democratic nomination. Hubbell will take on Republican Governor Kim Reynolds, who had no party opposition. Both Reynolds and Ivey are vying for their first full terms after succeeding men who resigned. Reynolds is Iowa's first female governor. Ivey is the second woman to helm Alabama government, but the first in 5 decades. Senators advance. It was also a good night for incumbents in the Senate. Democratic Sen. Bob Menendez of New Jersey got a surprisingly strong primary challenge after a hung jury spared him a conviction in a federal bribery trial. But Menendez held on, to the delight of Republicans who want to use his troubles to tar every Democrat in the state. Menendez will face Republican Bob Hugin, a pharmaceutical executive, in the fall. California Senator Dianne Feinstein stood her ground against criticism from the left. The 84-year-old Democrat advanced to the November ballot with a huge lead over more than 24 challengers, including liberal state Senate leader Kevin DeLeon, who finished a distant second for the opportunity to battle Feinstein again this fall. In Montana, the GOP establishment's choice for Senate, State Auditor Matt Rosendale, won a competitive primary over a former state judge for the chance to face Sen. Jon Tester in November. Tester is facing a tough race in a red state, and Rosendale is likely to get a big push from the National Party. Battle for House control. Democrats are looking to New Jersey and California as key states in their efforts to gain at least 23 more House seats and become the majority when Congress convenes next year. There are 5 New Jersey GOP House seats targeted by national Democrats, and establishment Democrats got their picks in a couple on the list. Navy veteran and former federal prosecutor Mikey Sherrill claimed the Democratic nomination in a district left open by the retirement of Republican Rodney Frelinghuysen. Republicans nominated State Assemblyman Jay Weber. In southern Jersey, a conservative Democratic state senator, Jeff Van Drew, dispatched more liberal competitors in a Republican-leaning district now held by Frank Lobiano, who is retiring. Republicans tapped Seth Grossman, an Atlantic City attorney who says he will forcefully defend Trump's agenda. A former Obama administration aide, Andy Kim, will take on New Jersey GOP Rep. Tom MacArthur, and Democrat Tom Malinowski, an appointee in the Obama State Department, won the nomination to take on vulnerable Republican Rep. Leonard Lance. California's outcomes still weren't settled Wednesday, because the state allows mail-in ballots to be postmarked through primary day and counted in the days after. But Democrats appeared to avoid their worst-case scenario of being shut out of several GOP-held districts that opted for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump in the 2016 presidential race. Incomplete returns showed Democrats will have a November candidate in at least 5 such districts they are targeting. Still, the threat of a shutout remained in 2 other districts, potentially denying Democrats a chance to knock off vulnerable Republican incumbents Dana Rohrabacher and Jeff Denham. In Alabama, a Republican incumbent who criticized Trump as a candidate in 2016 is headed for a runoff. Representative Martha Roby led her GOP competitors but fell shy of a required majority. She'll face former Representative Bobby Bright, whom she defeated in 2010. Bright was then a Democrat. An Iowa state lawmaker, meanwhile, has taken the next step toward becoming the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. Abby Finkenauer, 28, won the Democratic nomination in a Northeast Iowa district. She will face Republican incumbent Rod Blum. And in New Mexico, Deborah Haaland won the Democratic nomination in the congressional district opened by Lujan Grisham's run for governor. Haaland will be a heavy favorite this fall as she tries to become the first Native American woman to serve in Congress. California Governor California Republicans dodged a bullet with Republican business executive John Cox qualifying for a November matchup in the governor's race against Democrat Gavin Newsom, the former San Francisco mayor and current lieutenant governor. Avoiding a runoff shutout gives the state GOP an important voice at the top of the ticket in the fall. That could help drive turnout in down-ballot races, even though Newsom will be the clear favorite for the state's top job. Follow Barrow on Twitter at https://twitter.com/BillBarrowApp. Copyright 2018 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, written or redistributed.